All right, hey everyone, we're back again for another episode of the DCEU. What we're gonna end up talking about other things and everything going on again. I'm gonna change the name soon, but it's gonna be messed up if I change the name to all the old episodes, and then it was like, why do they keep saying DCU? Um, that's gonna be funny. Just do a name change. People do it all the time.
There they do.
As always, this is my co-host Javis. He lives in an amazing place now. It looks incredible.
Listen, my room is lit up by sunlight and it looks awful if I use my regular cam. So I'm using this virtual background to so that you don't know that the room is just like completely whited out with sunlight.
Good to know. All right, let's get things started, Jay. What's our topic today?
All right. Well, actually, there's a couple things I wanted to talk about tonight. We're gonna get to some DC topics because there is some DC stuff that I did want to talk about. But the main topic tonight is the fact that they just recently announced that Lord of the Rings is doing more movies. This is something that I specifically wanted to get your take and opinion on it. But before we do that, I do want to let everyone know that this weekend Attack on Titan comes back on. I'm wearing my Levi shirt. I got my arm and pillow. We are ready to go. It's gonna be incredible. I can't wait for this final season.
Davis, what language do you watch that in?
Japanese.
So, my question to you, because I get yelled at by everybody on the planet for not watching in its original language because I wait until it's dubbed and then I watch it.
Yeah,
Um, how are you able to watch it and still look at your cell phone or eat food?
you can't. It's a different lifestyle, honestly. It's when you decide to do subbed instead of dub, you are making a commitment to focus in and pay attention to this show. And a lot of people can't do that. A lot of people aren't programmed to be able to do that. It's a reprogramming of your brain that for this 30 minutes, for this 20 minutes, I'm going to sit here and watch this and do nothing else. And it takes a bit of a commitment, but the thing about it is when you put it into practice, you watch a couple of episodes, the rest are like this. But the back and forth, if you have a watch system where you have a lot of shows that you're watching in your own language, and then every once in a while you switch over to an anime, it's always going to feel that way. It's always going to be difficult. But if you fill up your content with more anime and make them all subbed, then it won't be as crazy.
Yeah, that's been my biggest issue because even still, sometimes I'll just sit and just watch it. I'm not doing anything else, but God forbid, like somebody calls on my phone, I gotta pause that thing with the quickness
Yeah.
because I'm gonna miss some dialogue and it could be very, very influential on making sure I understand the plot line of the thing. So it got to the point where I just started doing dub, and honestly, I haven't looked back. I just don't tell anybody that I do it because all the meanness. It's just it's so mean out there if you don't do what people are telling you to do. It's so cruel. I don't even know how to describe that, but it's kind of bad that I can't just pick my happy medium and do it. But then you hear people like you, oh, that's how you watch it. Well, then you really aren't a fan. Okay, did you buy a subscription or are you watching it on some site that's just illegal? Yeah, who's the real fan now? So that's always been my response to that mess. But I just
Some
wanted to ask you that because it's always been in the back of my mind of how people choose to watch that particular style of genre of television. Well, not really television so much; it's on whatever mobile device that you have, but
yeah.
how they choose to watch it because it's difficult. I enjoy it, but I find myself having to wait to engage with you or the nephews or any of my friends because I have to wait until it's dubbed because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take the time to watch it. I used to watch Naruto. I don't want to say it like that. I like to say it like this now. Naruto. I used to watch Naruto. That's how you piss a lot of people off. Naruto was a great show. Naruto Shippuden. Yeah, Shippuden. Um,
So you uncultured swine. No, I just no, I completely get it. But the thing about it is that people don't understand is that when we were growing up and watching anime, yeah, that was a huge thing where you would have people that would literally trash you for it. But the truth of the matter is, anime has become so mainstream now that I am, even though I don't watch the dub, sometimes I'm upset that I don't, because when you go to conventions in America, the Japanese voice actors aren't the ones that show up to those. It's the American voice actors. And I'm just like, yo, you play Deku in My Hero, or you play Levi in Attack on Titan. But I'm the one that feels like I'm out of my place, because I can't really go up and really shake their hands because I don't watch their version of it. I don't even know what their voice sounds like. So I feel like
Horrible.
you have two separate groups right now, and neither one of them is wrong, in my opinion, because there are some phenomenal American voice actors that do the voices for these anime characters, and they're making good money and they're doing good work. And there are some anime out there that you watch and it's just better as in the dubbed. I will always believe that Death Note is better dubbed than it is in Japanese. There are so many great moments that have been created with the American voice actors. The potato chip scene, we all know it. Like different things like that. And then you have certain things that new that have come out, like Cyberpunk Edge Runners. If you've ever watched that on Netflix, it's in technically it's Japanese, but nobody watches it in the Japanese sub. Everyone watches American. So usually the fans, the real fans, aren't the fans people that just watch it sub. They're the real fans are the ones that watch it in both ways, and they tell you the best way to watch it.
I know you had a subject that we had, but this it somehow whenever I'm talking to you, it brings up something else for me to talk about. But let me ask you this. I've always wanted to ask somebody this because I've never said it out loud before. Should these Asian shows be voiced by Asian actors in the American version?
That's a really great question. Really great. Because the truth of the matter is, I don't know. I am so um non-educated when it comes to that community of voice actors, that I don't know that there is enough to do it. There's so much anime out there, and if you just had Asian voice actors playing these roles, now of course we could just do a surplus and just say, hey, all Asian American actors that know how to speak English. We want all of you, and then you get tons and tons of them. But you have some American actors that have been doing this for decades.
Yes.
And when you have a top tier anime, you want the top tier voices voicing it. Whether that be, Asian American, or whether that be whatever. But the craziest thing about it is, what's so funny to me, and I don't have a problem with it if they decide to do all, Asian voices, even in the American versions or the American dubbed. That's perfectly great. That's perfectly fine if that's what the decision is. But you go to other countries and they're not asking that question. They have their people doing the voices so that their audiences can better get into the situation. And no one's asking them to have, this person do it simply because of whatever, or that person do it because of whatever. When they do their translations and their voiceovers, they do it, they pick the best people for the job, and then they move on. um and so, but with us, because America is such a mixing pot, that will always be a hotbed topic of discussion, is should the person that you're really portraying, their ethnicity, be the ones that actually do the work.
I
And
remember that for The Simpsons, was it Apu? If that's how you say his name, was
yeah,
voiced by a white actor, and then that documentary came out, and he said, "I'm no longer going to do it. I will let someone else from that nationality do it out of respect because he felt like it was wrong for him to do." And I understand that, but I find myself with these. I'm watching a dubbed television show um, with a bunch of anime, and all the characters are like, "Yeah, I'm from here, but they're not from America." Like the character, they're from whatever. I can understand if it's like a different universe, but
Yeah.
when they're on Earth, like now times or whatever, and they're saying who they are, I'm like, maybe it should have been voiced by an Asian American or an Asian actor who speaks English well
Yes.
enough for everyone to understand. But because in my only question, reason why I asked you that is because you brought up another point in answering that question, which was like there are so many good people that do the voices that are American, that are white or black or what have you, that do an excellent job. They've been doing it for years, and I guess my background question that popped in my head are like, are they that good? Because they get those roles, while the ones that actually can still do those roles just as good are passed over
Yeah.
because of them. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm curious to know if there are any shows out there that use nothing but Asian actors to voice the roles of these characters. But at the same time, I'm looking at some of the anime that I've seen, and a lot of the anime that I watch. Some characters are from America. Some of their characters are from another country, and they're still an excellent anime, but they still do that. And I'm like, I'm fine with that. So whatever the culture is, I'm wondering if it should be represented that way, because that same thing came up in video games. I think it was Last of Us. It was a black character in the
Mm.
game played by, no, it wasn't Last of Us. It was I know there was a Last of Us situation, but I
Yeah,
was
there
thinking of
was.
Uncharted. The last Uncharted game, there was a black woman in the game, but it was voiced by a white woman, and people took offense to that. Like, you're telling me you couldn't find not a single black person that could have played that role, and that's what that was. So when they did Uncharted the movie, of course, they had a black actress playing that role. So it's just like that kind of a thing happened. So I'm always been curious to know that kind of aspect. But I appreciate you answering that. Did you want to say anything else about that before we move on, or?
No, no, I think we touched on every point. Like I personally, I love both mediums, but to your credit, like you said, there's a lot of nastiness towards people that don't watch the subbed. My question to you is, do you think that those people that want people to watch the subtitles version of anime, are they also the ones that believe that the voices should be Japanese because it's a Japanese show?
Honestly, I don't think they are. I think
Yeah.
they want purity. They're like, this is what the artist was thinking of when they did it. Let's show respect to the artist, because I have noticed that I've seen shows are that are dubbed, and I've seen the ones where it's just the wording at the bottom, and I've always been curious if we're getting the exact feeling and the exact motion that was conveyed,
Yeah.
because it could have a misinterpretation. And I don't know if that happens a lot, because I'm not behind the scenes and someone saying, well, just do it the way you want to. I've seen, but to, I'm thinking faster than I'm talking. And in my thought process, I have moved forward to the fact that there are certain TV shows that I can't watch on Netflix when they dub it, because it just doesn't match the person speaking. And
Yeah.
that's always been like, I'll see something, I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. And then they show the person talking, and their mouth is not going to match because they're in a different country, they speak a different language. But the person they chose to sound like that person never fits.
It just
And then
doesn't
at the
fit.
same time, the emotion doesn't fit. If some woman's like, "Oh my god," like, but they say it in their language, the other person's like, "Oh my god." I'm like, no, that doesn't work. It's as if you're just
Yes.
reading a script. So
Yeah.
I've always been curious how much respect is shown, because, in my opinion, I feel like it's done well, because I feel a lot of emotion depending on what anime I'm watching. I will Yu Yu Hakusho is still it for me. I just recently watched someone doing an interview of how he did the voice for that show, and he said one of the most interesting things about that, he said there's a lot of anime out there that just doesn't stop. They'll do episode, and it just never finishes, and you're like, where are you going with this? What's the plan with this? But he said that's one of the few ones that he's ever done in his life where it had a beginning and it had a finale. And then
Mm.
that is it. We did this, we created this, we're done. let's move on to the next thing. He said
Yeah.
sometimes in these animes you don't get finale to it because they want to keep it going because it brings in the money. But to sit there and give it that love and treatment, saying we know where we started with this character, we know where this character is going to end, it actually builds that up to something that's pretty great. But to get back to the point of what do I think those are the people? I don't think. I think those people want purity. They want nothing but purity for the show. And for me, I just don't even share what language I watch it in. I just say that I watch it.
Yeah.
But I know for me, I'm completely out of pocket with the animes that are on now. I'll watch a brand new, like, you just talked about Attack on Titan, and that you're excited. You got the shirt and everything. Didn't know a new season was coming out, and I'm still. Attack on Titan has been the hardest anime for me to watch because for the first time ever, and I know that I'm wrong. I know that people are gonna think I'm wrong for saying this, and that's fine. I'm okay with it. All the characters looked alike, and I could never tell who got eaten and who was alive. And I'm like,
Damn,
did you just
Joe.
get eaten? And I'm like, no, that was someone else. It's just the hair color and the style, and because they're all in that military suits,
Yeah.
because they're all supposed to be dressed alike, to look alike, to work as a team and work as a group. I totally understand that. That's what they're trying to convey. Kind of like I don't know if you ever watched the Rockettes, all the Rockettes, no matter what nationality are, whether they're Asian, black, white, or whatever, they all look almost exactly alike. From the dark skinned person that's African to the lightest person in the room, the makeup that they put on, the style that they have, is to show uniformity. And it's not about, oh, they all need to look white because they don't. You can clearly see there's different nationalities, but they're all made to be completely in sync. And I think with this military operative action, they're doing the same thing. They need to be completely in sync. So when you're sitting there fighting, you're less likely to not let someone die that is
Yeah.
your friend because you
Yeah.
won't be able to see at the because they're going fast, they're connecting and going against the wall and going around. Sometimes you can't see if that's hey, that's my best friend or if that's Billy who I can't stand. So you know what? Let's let Billy get eaten. So there's a uniformity there. That's why military do some of the things like that. At least is what I feel.
Yeah.
So when I'm watching it, I'll see someone get eaten and then I get confused like I thought he or she was eaten, and now they're the main focus of this episode. What did I miss? So Attack on Titan, I told you this, I told the nephews this, and I'm like, I just need to start watching it from the very beginning all over again. It's
I agree.
amazing how
I
I can
agree.
see which Titan is the difference between the Titans, but I can't seem to tell the difference between the people that's getting eaten. I'm like, and that's bad. And I'm like,
But no,
I gotta
but
figure
it's
that out.
not really that they do that on purpose. Like they really do. The Titans are very much um distinguished between each other. They really want you to know that there are a difference, and when you go back and watch, they'll explain that there are sentient Titans, and then there are Titans that are wild, basically wild type. They have no brain activity whatsoever. There are Titans that know exactly what they're doing, and then there are Titans that will just eat and roam aimlessly. And so
Are they
there,
all human?
huh? That's a part of the secrecy. You have to watch the show. That would be a big reveal. The answer to that. So I would definitely watch the show for that answer and for those watching as well.
Okay.
But yes, there are all of those answers, and I think that's the thing. Very few times, and that's why it's one of my favorite shows. Very few times will I watch a show, and by the end or by a certain point, the answer that I want, even if you don't get the answer you want, or if you get the answer you want in certain shows out there, it's sometimes it's just not fulfilling. Sometimes it's just you're just like, oh, okay, well they answered the question, whatever. The Attack on Titan is one of the only shows I've ever watched that answered every question I had and didn't give me more questions, but left me fulfilled with the answer they gave me. And that's what everyone wants to know. Where did these Titans come from? Why are they here? What's going on? And in season three, there are certain moments in season three, and I've said this before to many, many friends, and that's why I really want you to get to season three. There are certain moments at the end of season three, certain scenes that made instantly my top 5 best scenes in an anime ever. All the classic animes, everything that I've ever seen, Dragon Ball Z, and some of those scenes are up there too. But to have this show skyrocket to season 3, and it is because of the buildup. You talk about the buildup so much. There are certain things that give you a buildup where you don't know what the payoff is going to be, and half the time the payoff is just not worth it. The payoff in this show is 100% worth it. I would definitely throw that out there for anybody that wants to or is thinking about watching Attack on Titan. One thing I will say is that you it's funny to me that you think that they all kind of look alike, because Attack on Titan, this is not a big secret about the show. They tell you this in like episode 1. The Everyone in the world retreated, and then most people were killed, and now the only people that currently live or exist inside of these walls. And so inside of the walls, what you're seeing is almost every character is a different nationality. So for the first time, you're saying that they all kind of look alike, when actually you're looking at Germans, you're looking at Europeans, Asians, different uh, uh, areas of Asia,
Why
and
they all
it's
got blonde hair?
yeah, I don't. I have nothing for that. But some of them, some of them are American. But but at the end of the day, it's just so funny because they are all
Wait,
different.
are you telling me there's a character that has like a hair like mine in the show?
Yes, his name is Onyankopon, and he's from Africa. And it's
Season
one.
one?
No, you got to get to him. And once you get to him, everyone lost their minds when on Yakupon entered the screen, because they talk about the fact that one of the dialogue is one of the characters is just like, you look nothing like us. Where have you been? They have that conversation,
Good,
and
because it needs to happen.
it needs to happen.
And
And
that's what I wanted this episode to be about. Was going to be about Harry Potter and something I wanted to share. But keep going.
but no, I just there I just in this anime, I just want people to watch it. That's all. Just watch it. They're on the final season. There's only about 4 or 5 seasons, and the fact that there's so much content. What I will say to everyone, season 2 is one of the most difficult seasons to get through. It is a lot of dialogue. It is a lot of storyline. It's not a lot of action. And the only problem with that is season 1 is nothing but action, action, action. And then they slow it down. They're just like, okay, now that we've caught your attention, we got to get you some information. Because if not, the scenes and the moments in season 3 that are going to blow your mind will not have any effect on you if you don't know what's going on. And
But you're getting ready to watch season four.
yes.
But you're saying there's 5 seasons?
No, no, no. There, I think there's four. I don't remember if it's 4 seasons or 5 seasons, but it's on the final season currently. The problem is that they've taken the final season and they split it up into 3 seasons. It was supposed to be just one season, but then when they announced it as the final season, the entire world exploded and everyone ran towards Attack on Titan. So they cut it off, and literally the past 2 years have been them drawing out the final season. And literally in the actual chapters of the book, the last season, everything that they've been drawing out is about this much of dialogue and this much of book left. And so everyone keeps going, what do you do? Like, there's nothing left to show except just to show it. And people that are watching know what it is. We just want to see it on the screen. But it's they're dragging it out, but they're doing it in the best way possible. They have one of the best studios, Mappa, working on this, and anybody that knows anime knows that Mappa is the studio to work on an anime. They just did Chainsaw Man, they did Demon Slayer. I think they're currently doing JoJo, I believe, but yeah, they're also doing Attack on Titan. Mappa came out the box, little backstory. They had nothing left, and they were about to call it quits. So they took every dollar that they had and they threw it into the first season of Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer blew up. Everybody and their mama wanted to be on Demons. Everybody and their mama wanted to watch Demon Slayer. And when you watched it, you could clearly tell this animation is nothing like anything you've ever seen.
Did you
So
watch it?
Demon Slayer?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, it's incredible. And the reason why it's incredible is because of the fact that we haven't had a sword and shield anime, not a sword and shield. I won't say shield, but a I want to say samurai. We haven't had a samurai anime in decades. At least a popular one anyway. I don't know of any other ones
So
that
this is
were.
like Bleach.
Uh, yeah, but think more like Inuyasha. Think more like a mix between Inuyasha and Afro Samurai and all that good stuff that we love. Samurai Champloo. Like those animes that we grew up on that were Sword, Rurouni Kenshin. There are certain moments that are just slow and they will focus in on the leaves and the build up of the battle and things like that. They do a lot of that because that's what a good samurai show will give you. And Demon Slayer is that, which is why some people, I've talked to some people, they can't get on board. They're like, it's a little slower for me, blah 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 blah. But when the fight scenes start up, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. The storyline is incredible.
Is it
Uh,
finished?
no, no, not close. Not it's not it's finished in manga form and book form, but it's not even close to being finished in anime form. There's still a lot that we have to go through. And they're the first studio that's ever made the decision to season 1 of the show was a hit. But they looked at season 2 and they said, season 2, we know it's going to be awesome, but everything in season 2 takes place in one location. And they were just like, so why are we going to drag this out? They turned season 2 into a big budget movie and made millions. And that's what season 2 is. Season 2 is a movie. And then they continued with season 3. But in show form, it will actually say season 2, but the fans know it's actually season 3. You watched season 2 on the big screen. Um,
So if you are a person like me, I watch season one, then I watch season two, I'll be confused.
yes. No, no. Yes and no. So the thing about it is they do like animes do, just like Dragon Ball Z did with their movies. They put the movie in like 4 episodes of the actual show so that you aren't completely
Oh,
confused, but it doesn't
got it.
have as much of the intensity or the animation quality or fight
Yeah,
scenes, but
yeah,
they give you all the information.
absolutely. Okay. It's amazing how much I don't know because, like I said, I've been out of pocket with the anime and I want to get back into it. So now I know I got to rewatch Attack on Titans. Actually, I don't need to rush that because you said it's just coming out, so I got to wait until it's dubbed
Yeah.
and get yelled at by everybody. So,
I
but
mean,
that's
by the time you actually finish the 4 seasons you got to get through, it'll be done.
you keep saying that. Is it 4 seasons that I got to go through right now or three?
Oh my gosh.
You the one that's giving me the information.
It's definitely not 3. It's definitely either 4 or 5. Um seasons of um
So while Javis is looking that up, we've got a surprise for him in the back. He has no idea he'll be meeting his father for the first time.
shut up, Joe.
So we're gonna have he can't hear us right now. It's just me and the audience talking.
4 seasons. They're
Uh,
4 seasons.
All right. So I gotta get through 4 seasons and each episode is it 24 episodes or is it like 13?
It's more like 12 to 13. Like what they'll do is they'll do season 3 part 1 and it's 12 episodes, and then season 3 part 2 is 12 episodes, so really it is 24, but they try to trick you with the part 1 and part 2 kind of a thing. So
Gotcha. Like I feel like it started with Sopranos that mess started happening, but then it was like
yeah,
cause like then they do like a summer finale or a winter finale, all these things to make you have these finales the way you have to come back and watch. And I'm like, just air them. Like if your stuff is good, it's good. You don't have to do anything else special, but just air it. And if
yeah,
it's bad, it's gonna be garbage, and we're gonna talk about it whether you make us wait or whether you make us don't. So just do it because I know they
yeah,
did the
I
same thing with
agree.
Stranger Things. It's like, let's hold off for a couple of months. You were already done. Like, just put it on the air. And it's still gonna take you 2 to 3 years to do the next season. I don't know why it takes so long to do a season on Stranger Things. It's a whole nother topic. All right, so let's just end it on the fact of the anime thing.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for watching again and listening to us not completely off topic and not even stay remotely close to Lord of the Rings. I think we just said the name and then we moved on.
Eventually,
But
we'll get to Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, but it's not today.
yeah, I think the next one's gonna be Harry Potter. All right,
We'll
cool.
do Harry Potter
Everybody, thank you for watching once again. Joseph, that's Javis. We appreciate you watching. I messed up the screen, so I got to figure out how to end this properly. I think it's the F button. Yep, that's it. And then we're gonna end it. So thank you for watching. Have a blessed one. Peace. Oh, I forgot to say keep it locked and loaded with information, but I just did it now, so we work.